This is Thriving Thoughts, a podcast that teaches you how to change your thoughts so you can change your life. I'm Dr. Sherri, clinical psychologist turned thought coach. In each 5-minute episode of the Thriving Thoughts podcast, we will discover one lie we believe about ourselves, others, or the world that lures us into a surviving mindset. Then we'll learn the truth that leads us into a thriving thought world. And to bridge the gap between knowing and doing, I'll teach you one practical thought tool you can start to use right away. Consider me your personal thought coach, and each episode your personal thought coaching session. I want you to thrive, to grow, flourish, and prosper. And here's your first truth. If you want to thrive, you have to choose to do the work. The daily deliberate work of changing the way you think so you can change your life. Welcome to the Thriving Thoughts community. Let's get ready to speak truth over the lies so we can thrive in any and every circumstance. I remember when I got my first critical comment on my Dr. Sherri Facebook page. I had published a quote from my book, Breakup Breakthroughs, which I had been doing for 7 consecutive days after I published it in July of 2020. A stranger commented, "Who cares now anyway?" Admittedly, I had a twinge in my gut. Yep, there it was, my old friend offended. But then I remembered that feelings are information, not facts, and I stepped back from that feeling and asked myself a question. Okay, what's the feeling trying to tell you? Why are you offended? I thought, this woman doesn't even know me, yet here she was dismissing a deeply personal experience I shared publicly for the sake of encouraging others, including her. That's when the first thriving moment hit me. Wow, she doesn't know me. She doesn't know me. Someone I don't know is engaging with my content. Charles Spurgeon said, and I paraphrase, "It is good that man should dissent, for it means you have his attention." I had her attention. The second thriving moment came when I realized this was an opportunity for me to see her need rather than her snark. Something I said made her think, reminded her of something personal. She clearly felt compelled to engage with me to get my attention. With the awareness that most people do in fact live in an offended or offending mindset, I pictured her. Who was she? What did she need? I also pictured me. Was my message clear? Did I believe in my message? I don't remember exactly how I replied, but it was something like this. Thank you for making the time to comment. My desire is to be encouraging to you by being deeply vulnerable. I thanked her, and I reiterated why I was there on that public platform. Nothing defensive, nothing snarky, just a reiteration of who I knew myself to be. Had I not spent so much time in personal growth exercises, it would have looked much more like this. She comments, "Who cares anyway?" Who does she think she is? Oh no, she's right. Nobody really does care what I have to share. I should delete the post. I should ignore it. I should give her a piece of my mind. That entire conversation with myself is based on who other people think I am, rather fantasizing about who they think I am. The thriving thought world focuses on what you control and what you know. There was one truth of which I was certain. I cared about what I had to say. I was committed to following my urge to share my story because I knew if I was thinking these things, someone else was thinking these things, and they needed to know there was a better way of processing the trauma of a relationship split. So when she said, "Who cares anyway?" the initial, unavoidable by the way, feeling of being offended went away quickly. Because the truth was, I cared, others cared, and so did she, because she took the time to engage. We cannot be offended if we don't believe that what the offender is saying is true. Think about these examples. Someone says, "You're stupid." If there's any part of me that believes myself to be stupid, you better believe that one's going to sting, and rather than dismiss it as a lie, I'll consider it as truth and defend myself against it by going on the attack against the offender. That one's obvious, but how about this? "Thank you, sweetie." Ever had a man say that to you? If you're a woman, you have. Did you take offense to it? If you did, it's because you interpreted it as diminutive, and it activated a piece of you that does indeed believe she is inferior. So of course you will go on the defensive and shame the man for quote-unquote talking down to you. Here's the truth. If you believe that you are equal, if you believe that you have uncompromising worth, something as innocuous as "thank you, sweetie" is just a thank you, sweetie, not a personal attack on your individual value. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Don't believe the lie that people can offend you. Believe the truth that nobody can offend you unless you already believe that what they say is true. Share the love and share the show by tagging at Dr.SherriSpeaks on your Instagram story and using the hashtag Thriving Thoughts with Dr. Sherri. Always speak truth over the lies, and you will thrive in any and every circumstance.